My eyes fluttered open to the soft glow of dawn. Another day, another decision to make. But this time, it was different. This time, I knew exactly what I was building. This time, my success wasn't about luck or privilege. It was about something far more valuable: effort, sacrifice, and the lessons learned along the way. Welcome to English Journey, where we help you grow personally while mastering English. I'm Celine, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. We release new videos every day to support English learners like you in both your language journey and your life journey. If you want to improve your English and discover powerful life lessons, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Stay with me to the end. One lesson in this story could change how you see success forever. Plus, there's a fun quiz at the end to reinforce everything you've learned. The easy life. When I was younger, I truly believed life was simple. My parents had done well, so money was never a worry. I didn't study hard. I didn't work. Everything I desired seemed to appear effortlessly. If I admired something in a shop window, I simply mentioned it to my father, and it was mine. My friends often spoke about planning for the future, about careers and savings, but I would just laugh. Why bother, I'd say. My parents have enough. That's all that matters. Every morning, I woke up late. Breakfast was often served in bed. I'd spend hours watching television or scrolling through social media. Sometimes my friends and I would go out. We'd dine at the most exclusive restaurants, wear designer clothes, and cruise around in fast, expensive cars. Life felt endlessly easy and fun. I genuinely believed it would always be this way. Money was an abstract concept to me. Work was a foreign idea. If I wanted to travel, I booked a trip. If new shoes caught my eye, I bought them instantly. A new phone? Only the latest model would do. My parents handled all the bills. I never once considered the effort they put in, the long hours my father spent at his office, or the details of his business. My only focus was enjoying my life, living in the moment, with no thought for tomorrow. A serious conversation. One afternoon, my father called me into his study. He looked unusually serious. "Sit down, dear," he said. I smiled, thinking he might be about to surprise me with another gift. But his expression remained unchanged. He wasn't happy. He wasn't joking. A slight nervousness crept over me, though I couldn't understand why. My father had always been so kind, so indulgent. He rarely said no to me. But that day, something felt different. He took a deep breath, his gaze fixed on me. "You're not a child anymore, Lily," he began. "You must start thinking about your future." I chuckled, trying to lighten the mood. "Father, I have everything I need right now." He shook his head slowly. "No, my daughter," he corrected me softly. "You have everything because I work hard. But life isn't always easy. One day, things might change." I didn't truly grasp his meaning. I thought he was just worrying unnecessarily. "Don't worry, Father," I said, trying to reassure him. "Nothing will change." He didn't smile back. He just looked at me for a long time. Then he simply said, "We will see." I shrugged it off, assuming he was in a bad mood. I stood up and left the room, his words quickly fading from my mind. I met my friends, laughed, and spent money without a second thought. I had no idea how drastically my life was about to change. A shocking morning. The next morning, I woke up late as usual. I stretched lazily and reached for my phone. There were dozens of messages from my friends, planning another day of fun. I smiled, excited to join them. I chose my favorite designer outfit, sprayed on an expensive perfume, and walked downstairs. But when I reached the living room, my father was waiting. His face was still serious. "Sit down," he commanded. I sighed, frustrated that he was interrupting my plans. "Father, I have plans today," I protested. He didn't acknowledge my complaint. He looked directly into my eyes. "You are not a girl anymore, Lily," he stated. "You must learn about life." I rolled my eyes. "Father, I know about life," I insisted. He shook his head. "No, you don't," he said. Then he said something that surprised me. "Come with me." Confused, I followed him outside to his car. I had no idea where we were going. He didn't say another word as we drove. The city looked different that morning. I noticed people walking with purpose, workers cleaning the streets, vendors selling food from their small carts. These were things I had never paid attention to before. But today, for some reason, I noticed. A glimpse of reality. After some time, my father stopped the car. We were in a part of the city I had never visited. The buildings were old, the streets were not as clean, and the people looked tired. My father pointed to a man selling fruit. "Look at him," my father said. "He wakes up before dawn. He works tirelessly all day, without rest, without complaint. He does this to feed his family." I remained silent, absorbing his words. Next, my father showed me a small shop. Inside, an elderly woman was diligently sewing clothes. "She has been working for over 40 years, he explained. "She doesn't have much money, but she works hard every single day." I watched the woman. She looked exhausted, but her hands never stopped moving. I had never encountered people like this before. I had never considered their struggles. My father turned to me. "Do you see now?" he asked. "Life is not easy for everyone. Many people work incredibly hard every day, but you, my daughter, have never worked a single day in your life." A strange feeling washed over me. I wanted to speak, to defend myself, but I had no words. I looked away, feeling small and utterly different. Something fundamental inside me had shifted. We drove back in silence. I sat quietly, the images of the fruit seller and the sewing woman replaying in my mind. I had never given a thought to people like them, or to the concept of work itself. My life had been effortless, but now I felt profoundly different. A new beginning. After a while, my father stopped the car again. We were in front of a large building, his office. I had been there before, but usually only for quick visits when I needed money. This time, it felt different. "Come," he said, and I followed him inside. The office buzzed with activity. People walked briskly, phones rang constantly, and papers were stacked everywhere. My father led me to his own office, sat down, and looked at me. "Do you know what I do every day?" he asked. I shrugged. "You work?" I replied lamely. He nodded. "Yes, but do you know how hard I work?" I stayed quiet as he continued. "I wake up early. I make crucial decisions. I solve complex problems. I manage this entire company, and I do all of this for you." I looked around the busy office. I saw tired faces, workers typing reports, making calls, looking stressed. I had never considered these details before. I only saw the money my father provided. I never saw the effort behind it. A new emotion stirred within me, guilt. Then my father handed me a small notebook. "Starting tomorrow, you will work here," he announced. I laughed, bewildered. Me? Work? I asked. He didn't laugh back. Yes, he said. You will start from the very bottom. You will learn. I was shocked. But I don't need to work, I protested. My father shook his head firmly. You do, he insisted, because one day I won't be here. And then what will you do? I had no answer. I had never contemplated a life without my father, never considered the future, never thought beyond my own comfort. But now, it seemed, I had no choice. My father had made his decision. Tomorrow, my life would change. Tomorrow, I would start working for the very first time. The first day of work. The next morning, I woke up early, which felt incredibly strange. I was accustomed to sleeping in, but now I had work to do. I got dressed and went downstairs. My father was already waiting for me. He handed me a small bag. Your lunch, he said. I looked at him in surprise. Lunch. Can't I just eat at a restaurant? I asked. He shook his head. Workers bring their own lunch, he explained. And today you are a worker. We left the house and drove to his office. Instead of taking me to his spacious office, he led me to a smaller room filled with desks where people were working on computers. A man wearing glasses, looking serious, approached us. This is Mr. William, my father introduced him. You will work under him. With that, my father left. Mr. William looked at me. Come with me, he said, walking quickly. I followed. He pointed to a chair and a small desk. You will check these papers, he instructed, placing a large stack in front of me. Look at the numbers. Find mistakes. Mark them. I stared at the daunting pile. All of them? I asked. Mr. William nodded. Yes, and work fast. I sat down and began. At first, it seemed simple enough, but after just an hour, my head began to ache. The numbers blurred together, and my eyes felt tired. I wanted to stop, to just walk away, but I couldn't. Everyone around me was focused, working intently. Nobody was resting, nobody was chatting. This was nothing like my old life. This was epic. By lunchtime, I was utterly exhausted. I opened my lunch bag. Inside was simple food. No gourmet dishes, no expensive drinks. I ate quietly, observing the other workers. They ate quickly, then immediately returned to their tasks. No long breaks, no fun conversations, just work. I miss out my old life, my freedom. But I also felt something new, respect. These people worked hard every day, and now I was one of them. The afternoon was even more challenging. My back ached from sitting, and my hands were tired from writing. I desperately wanted to stop, to go home, but I couldn't. Mr. William came to my desk and checked my work, pointing out mistakes. Do it again, he said. I sighed, wanting to argue, but I simply nodded and started over. When the day finally ended, I felt different. I was physically tired, but something profound had changed inside me. For the first time, I understood how hard people worked. For the first time, I understood that money was not easily acquired. As I walked out of the office, I saw my father waiting for me. He didn't ask about my day. He just smiled. And for the first time in my life, I smiled back. Not because life was easy, but because I had truly earned that smile. The journey continues. The next day, I woke up early again. My body was sore, my hands stiff. I had never felt this way before. I wanted to stay in bed, but I couldn't. I had work to do. I got dressed and went downstairs. My father was already at the table. He looked at me and nodded. "Good," he said. That was all, but it felt different. It felt like he was proud. When I arrived at the office, Mr. William was waiting. He didn't smile. "You were slow yesterday," he said. "Today, work faster." I wanted to say something, but I didn't. I just sat down and started. The papers were in front of me again. The numbers were waiting. My head still hurt. My back still ached. But I worked. I did not stop. By noon, I finished my task. Mr. William checked my work. He found fewer mistakes. "Better," he said. Just one word. But it felt good. It felt better than buying something expensive. It felt better than wasting time with friends. It felt like I had done something real. I had never felt this before. I had never cared about work before. But now I did. During lunch, I sat with other workers. They talked about their families, their problems. They laughed. They ate fast and went back to work. I listened to them. I had never thought about people like them before. I had never thought about what they went through, but now I was sitting with them. I was one of them. The afternoon was hard. Mr. William gave me more work. "Let's see if you can handle this," he said. I wanted to complain, but I didn't. I just nodded. I focused. I worked. The hours passed. My back hurt. My hands ached. But I kept going. I wanted to prove that I could do this. I wanted to prove it to myself. At the end of the day, Mr. William looked at me. He did not smile, but he said, "Not bad." Just 2 words, but they meant a lot. I nodded and left the office. My father was waiting outside. He looked at me. "Tired?" he asked. I nodded. He said, "Good," he said. I understood now. I understood why he made me do this, and for the first time, I did not want to run away from work. I wanted to learn more. Growth and understanding. Days passed, then weeks, then months. I worked every day. At first, it was hard. My body hurt. My mind felt tired. But slowly, I got better. I made fewer mistakes. I worked faster. Mr. Williams still did not smile, but he stopped complaining. Sometimes he even said, "Good job." Those words felt better than any gift I ever received. I started to understand money. Before, I only spent it. Now, I saw how hard it was to earn. I watched my father work. I saw him make big decisions. I saw him handle problems. I saw him take care of the company. I never respected his work before, but now I did. He was not just a man with money. He was a man who built something with his own hands. One evening, my father called me to his office. He looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "You have changed." I did not know what to say. He continued, "At first you were lazy. You did not care about work, but now you understand." I nodded. He was right. I was not the same person anymore. I felt different. I felt stronger. Then my father surprised me. He took out a small key and gave it to me. "This is your office," he said. I was shocked. "My office?" I asked. He nodded. "You are ready for more responsibility. You have worked hard. Now it is time to take the next step." I held the key in my hand. It was small, but it felt heavy. It was not just a key. It was trust. The next day, I moved to my new office. It was small, but it was mine. I had my own desk, my own chair, my own work. I was no longer just a worker. I was learning how to lead. It was not easy. I made mistakes. I had bad days. But I did not give up. I kept working. I kept learning. I wanted to be like my father. I wanted to build something of my own. Looking back, I laugh at my old self. I thought life was easy. I thought money was simple. But I was wrong. Life is work. Life is effort. Life is building something with your own hands. My father taught me that. And now I am ready for the future. Not because I have money, but because I have learned how to earn it. Key takeaways from The Easy Life. Effort defines value. True worth comes from the effort and hard work you put in, not from what is simply given to you. Empathy through experience. Understanding the struggles of others broadens your perspective and builds empathy. Personal growth is priceless. The journey of learning, making mistakes, and persevering builds character and inner strength that money cannot buy. Responsibility is freedom. Taking on responsibility, even when difficult, leads to true independence and a sense of accomplishment. The future is built today. Your actions and choices today shape your future. A strong foundation is built through consistent effort. If you found this story inspiring, please give this video a like and subscribe to English Journey for more motivational content. Don't forget to leave your answers to the quiz questions in the comments below. Quiz time. 1. What did the main character learn about the value of money? 2. How did the main character's perspective on work change? 3. What was the father's main reason for making his daughter work? 4. Describe one specific challenge the main character faced during her first days at work. 5. What did receiving the office key symbolize for the main character? Let me know in the comments. Remember, nothing is free, but every step you take builds the life you dream of. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next story.